my presentation today is centered around what I'm calling community activated outdoor gyms and the model, and how we've arrived at that as well. We've been going 18 years. I'll give you a bit of history about us. I want to make it educational as well. John told me, make it educational. So we're going to go into a little bit of the history of outdoor gyms, a little bit of history about who we are as well. We're going to talk about calisthenics. I don't know, hands up, how many of you know what calisthenics is or heard of it? Not many. We're going to talk about calisthenics, and I'm going to give you some case studies, because I know that case studies are always really useful to get your head around what's worked well in other places. And then I'm going to talk about our new app that we're launching this summer and how it will support community activation and how to get started on a community activated outdoor gym. So a bit of a funny image, this one, but this is the history of outdoor gyms. As you can see, it's ancient Greece, and I was quite surprised, actually. I don't know if any of you know what gymnos actually means, but the answer to that question is it actually means naked or nudity. So they actually used to do their gym workout in ancient Greece in the nude, but obviously we don't do that anymore, and we certainly don't do that at TGO gyms. And so outdoor gyms started in ancient Greece. Then there was a rise in sort of outdoor fitness spaces in Europe, in Germany and Sweden, and particularly used in the military. And then it was used in China, and it was used as part of in the 90s and towards the build up towards the Beijing Olympics. And that's how I came across it, actually, because I was working at Sport England on the London 2012 bid as a very junior member of staff after university. And that's where I came across it, was the Chinese using it to get their nation active. I put the idea to the CEO, and he thought it was a brilliant idea, but he encouraged me to set the business up. And then I set up business, family business, and since then it's become a global trend. So this is us outside the House of Parliament. We've got a gym at St Thomas's Hospital, and I think it just really kind of symbolises, you know, the ethos. It's very much about everybody, and it's very much an opportunity, such a big opportunity to address lifestyle diseases and movement, and activate that power of movement as a medicine. So we've got 3,000 outdoor gyms, and so we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot what works, what doesn't work. And so I'm here today to kind of share with you what has worked and what are really good focal points. Just a little bit of background on us. We've started in 2007. We're a family business. As I said earlier, I'm an export champion for the DBT, and we've got around 3,000 gyms exported to 40 countries. We've developed a range. Our ranges over the years, as we've not stopped developing. So we started off very much, you know, the traditional, similar to the sort of Chinese model, very sort of outdoor gym kind of traditional equipment. And then we've moved on towards calisthenics. We've got the gyms that generate power and weights, and also more sort of activation features like containers with equipment in. So yeah, the types of exercise. This is one of our early projects, actually, we did with Adidas back in 2008. We were part of the Olympics. So this tradition of the Olympics and weaving in, you know, that history from ancient Greece to Beijing to London 2012. It's very much been part of that, creating these outdoor spaces. And we rolled out 70 of these across England in 2008. And some of them we're now revamping. I'll show you some pictures of that a bit later. And we've been part of the global climate change conferences, COP21, COP22, and with our energy generating gym equipment. And we have pioneered things like screens to bring things like classes into the outdoor gyms as well. We've been to various things from Chelsea Flower Show to DIY SOS to, as I said, on COP21 in Paris, and then featured on CNN Global. And we were nominated by the University of East Anglia for the Earthshot Prize last year as well, which was great. And Kevin MacLeod has recognised us as one of his all-time favourite green heroes. This is the type of coverage of gyms we have out in London and beyond. Obviously, we do go beyond this area. That's just to give you an idea of what's on our app at the moment, the types of gyms that you can find. There are two, I would say there's two big wins around what we do. Firstly, movement medicine has been a big positive outcome of what we've done, and we've got some great case studies of that. And the other is around youth and the rise of calisthenics. So I'm going to talk about those two by way of some case studies. So first of all, calisthenics. Now, this is a word that no one can spell, no one can say initially, but we've got used to it in the end. Yeah, so calisthenics is massively on the rise. And so I'll give you a little bit of background on calisthenics. Its origins are ancient Greece. It comes from the word kalos stenos, which means beauty and strength in Greek. Very much based on body weight exercises. So things like you can see in the middle with the rings, but also pull-ups, dips, and there's various sort of different poses, like things like front levers, planches, back levers. A little bit like yoga, but with a bar and with lots of holds and a lot of strength. And it's really been extremely popular with young people and become a huge trend. We saw a huge uptake during COVID. People like Michael on the right-hand side is one of our sponsored athletes. He made his name on one of our gyms in Tower Hamlets, Shadwell Basin, where he was doing various of these different moves and getting a huge amount of following, millions and millions of views on what he was doing, because people were moving out from the gym into the outdoors and wanting to learn these different moves. And the physique that these young people were getting from doing calisthenics was incredible. A bit like the ancient Greek physique. And yeah, so the pandemic really accelerated the uptake in UK and worldwide as well. So it's become a global trend. And it's been popularized through social media. As you can see, people like Michael, they've got a big following and are posting about it all the time. So this is a case study about Burgess Park. We designed it with Michael being one of the leaders in calisthenics. And it's a really great example of where it's next to an estate that is the Aylesbury estate, one of the sort of more challenging estates in London. But it's become such a great success story. So this is me the other day. I had a busman's holiday, visiting the park, the Burgess Park in London, visiting the guys that are now running it. So it's kind of been very organic. As you can see, we have got a gym in the background, but also in the far right, you can see there's a little container that we put in, and we gave those guys the key. And basically what they do is they have open sessions where they open up the container, put out some equipment, some bands, some weights, and they run sessions for free for the community. And it's been a phenomenal success. And as I was there, you can see in the background, there's men, women of all different demographics really enjoying the space. And it's just become a lovely, really thriving, lovely spot for the whole community. And that's, yeah, just pictures that I took when I was down there. Women, as I say, every demographic you can imagine, and really enjoying it and really respecting the space, and people coming back regularly. So there's another, this is another testimonial that I've just gathered from a guy called Demi. He's a young guy from London, and he goes to one of our gyms in Westbourne Park. He's really talked about this as being a completely transforming his life and the community that's built up, particularly young people. And you can see men and women really enjoying the space, and really just calisthenics has created a really friendly, really wholesome community, and a place where young people feel safe, because I think obviously in this day and age there's a lot of fear, and what these communities are doing is really creating a wholesome space where it's no drink, no drugs, it's all wholesome, and it's around fitness and health, which is really nice, and it's very, very inclusive and encouraging. We've also got involved in supplying and sponsoring the championships. So our rigs are actually championship spec. So we design the rigs with the organisers. So the rigs that we put into parks can actually be used for competitions. And this is one in the NEC. And our spaces have become quite popular for, for social media, but also this is actually an advert from Nike. It's somebody doing a post about being in an advert for Nike. So they've become very cool spaces. So it's a good association for young people, feeling like it's a cool thing to do as well. And this is one of our setups in Holland Park, where we had a really nice women's workout. And we partnered with Heart Research UK and did some investigation as to what women wanted with their outdoor gym. And so we celebrated that with a workout in Holland Park recently. This is just an example of how we've refurbished one of those Addy zones that I showed you earlier that we created with Adidas. So we've got the calisthenics, we've got things like the dance walls and bar, we've got tennis walls, and we've got more traditional gym equipment as well. We like to sort of mix in traditional outdoor gym equipment as well. But absolutely fundamental to what we do now is to have the rigs, because they're so versatile, both for calisthenics and for movement medicine as well. So going on to movement medicine, I'm sure you've all heard of it being called the wonder drug by the chief medical officers. So very much at the core of what we do is to include people and help people start their journey, start their journey in physical activity. And these ladies here are part of a gym in Berkshire, actually, so in Slough, and they came down to some sessions that we put on called Big Community Workouts, which was the start of the community work that we did, where we trained up local people to deliver sessions. So there was a lot of good sort of experimentation that we did in Slough. Yeah, so we're very much on the curve of being sustainable. We plant trees with every piece we install, and we want to help do something about boosting prosperity as well in the local economy. So onto a case study about movement medicine. In 2008, we installed an outdoor gym in Faversham with Swale Council. We designed the gym with an organisation, well, a physiotherapist called Kesson Physio, who are a partner of ours. And what they wanted was a place to do some outreach work and do some work generally with their patients on this outdoor gym. Along with us, they developed 2 programs, one called Healthy Hearts and the other one called Move Type 2. And these programs have been running on a weekly basis for 3 years now, with absolutely fantastic results. I've attended various of these classes throughout the last couple of years, and they're always so busy, as you can see in my photos. The people have been regular attendees. A lot of them have been coming since the beginning, since the start of the 3 years ago. And what I'd noticed about the sessions is that people are very good friends now with one another. So it's not only had the sort of physical benefits of people getting active at least once a week, it's also had the benefit of social cohesion and really boosting people's mental health as well. So I'll give you an example of that. So one of the guys there, it was his birthday, and everyone had bought him a present. They'd made a t-shirt for him, which was really nice because it just shows that, you know, he was knitted into that community. And so I feel that not only have there been incredible physical health outcomes, helping people rehabilitate from in that case cardiac health issues, but also there'd been some, you know, real good mental health gains as well. Something we are bringing in as a partner is Gratitude Moves. We're going to be working with a man called Mark White, who delivers running at the moment with gratitude. So he's going to be delivering fitness sessions in communities and leaving a legacy in communities so that people can run their own sessions called Gratitude Moves, where it will combine 2 really powerful elements for mental health. So obviously movement, well, more than 2, movement, connecting with other people, being in nature, and gratitude as well. So gratitude being a really great way to boost your mental health. So something we're going to be bringing into play into some of our gyms soon. Another case study we've got, is it any questions so far?
We can do them at the end. It's cool.
At the end. Yeah, all right, cool. Another case study is Southall. Now, Southall was a local delivery pilot for Sport England. So they've had all these different places they've been investing in, and Southall was one of the pilots. And Southall's concept was about a social movement. So what we did with Southall, not only did we design the gyms with the community, we also trained up 40 of their local people to run activities, and we also featured them on the screens as well, and on the app as well. So they were able to run and lead sessions locally and really feel like they are, you know, owning and running the gym basically. So that's one of the best case studies we've got in terms of community activation, and we're going to be continuing to work there. So yeah, I'll just give you some of the stats. There's been a dramatic engagement increase. Now each gym sees an average of 1,500 uses per month. Community-driven design. There's very much about local leadership. And in July and August this year, Southall and Ealing will be piloting and testing our new app, TGO Activate. And they're going to be testing it across with their 40 activators. And we'll also be bringing in different sessions as well, like the gratitude moves and calisthenics, to get people on board. So that's Ealing. Yeah, so we very much see tech as a really good way to drive the community and drive up the usage of the gym and to enable local activation. So these are some of the screens of our new app. So there'll be two aspects to the app. I'll just get my notes up. Okay, so how it works. Yeah, it's a community-powered app designed to support local councils, fitness professionals, and residents in activating TGO outdoor gyms. It helps transform outdoor fitness spaces into thriving community hubs driven by local people. So how does it work? First of all, everybody will enter the app as a community user. So they'll register in the app in the normal way that you would. They will be able to book classes and explore sessions and engage with their local gym. You'll also be given the opportunity throughout the app to become an activator. So community members who want to run sessions such as calisthenics meetups or boot camps or circuits can become an activator. An activator is anyone that wants to lead an activity at a TGO outdoor gym. They may be a personal trainer or a fitness enthusiast. They will go through an onboarding process where they will be asked to upload their qualifications, their social handles, and the gym that they want to activate. And this can be moderated by the place, approved or declined. They will be able, then people will be able to discover those classes and book into those classes. The classes can be free or they can be chargeable. So it depends on what type of gym you've got. In Great Yarmouth, where we've got the ball court, I showed you the Addy Zone earlier. You know, you could do things like basketball, like we've got here. You know, there's a real sort of emphasis towards ball games and promoting more opportunities for people to do ball games. But if it's a gym, obviously you would focus more on doing circuits or doing calisthenics or movement medicine or anything really that people want to come up with. And that's the beauty of it. It's to really sort of inspire the local creativity. So how the app will help you, it will boost the local economy. It will enhance the gym because it will enable people to put on activities on the gym, and it will enable volunteering, so you can put free stuff on the gym as well, and people know when it's available. So for example, in Burgess Park, they opened the container, but it's very much word of mouth when the container is open to access the different equipment. Whereas obviously if people are on the app, they will know that there's a free open session on the gym and there'll be equipment available. So it just aids the communication, and the local trainers can share their their class on social media, and it all integrates with social media platforms. So as I say, the benefits are to boost the local economy, to really enable this community activation that is taking place organically already, but to also enable people to do less formal activities like meetups, because what we found with calisthenics is there's a really, often with the calisthenics community, they haven't necessarily got level 2 personal training, and but they want to do meetups, and they've got a real they've got a lot to give, so there's an opportunity for the app to showcase meetups as well, and it's an opportunity to offer a real diversity of different things going on that the local community want to offer. So in terms of setting up how it all works, obviously if you have got a TGO gym already, then it's a case of you can get started straight away. If you haven't got a TGO gym, then what I would recommend is going along with one of our recommended packages. On the left-hand side of this this slide, you can see the movement rig, which is one of the really good, it's like very versatile pieces of equipment. You can use it for both movement medicine, circuits, calisthenics. The wall at the end, that's for handstands, so it's really good for the family as well. That particular one's in Gowth because that's what the customer wanted. That's in a gym in Gloucester. And I'm going to be getting a case study from them as well, because the lady that set that gym up, she said it's been an outstanding success. The whole community are really thriving using the gym. So I'm going to be getting a case study from her in the coming days. The gym on the right is a bit of a bigger gym. That's a gym in Cambridge. So that's my local town. I live in Scotland at the moment, but I'm from Cambridge originally. Whenever I visit my mum, I go there. I jog to the gym. I'll jog and walk to the gym. It's quite far. And then I have a workout on here. And last weekend when I was there, I went down with my godson and my best friend, and I was able to do a fantastic workout with him. He's 13. And I was able to show him different moves. He was really interested in calisthenics anyway, because he'd seen it online. We had a brilliant workout together. There was a thriving community down there. Real mix of people, families, people into calisthenics, beginners, older people, young people. And yeah, just really enjoyed that gym. And that I feel like that's a fabulous gym if you've got more budget. So what we're talking about between these two gyms, you're talking about 20 to 80k sort of range of gyms. The flooring in both cases is wet pour, which is the flooring I would recommend. And you're absolutely right. You do need space around the rig. You do need a clear space of 2 meters around the rigs and 1.5 meters around each piece of equipment. So if it's an individual piece, like some of our more traditional, say our spinning bike, you'd need 1.5 meters space around the edge. Unfortunately, it is expensive, the safer surfacing, wet pour it's called, but it is worth it, in my opinion. It's a little bit cheaper if you just go for black, but if you can afford to have some color as well, it can really bring it to life, as you can see in the Cambridge gym. The reason it is good to have wet pour is because it's another option for your exercises. So the other day when I visited with Theodore, my godson, we were doing press ups and that type of thing on the floor, and things like lunges, and so there's lots of things that you can do with a good flooring, and where people are getting interested in doing things like headstands and handstands, and we've got the handstand walls. Again, it's a really good flooring for that as well, because it's nice and smooth. Whereas the mulch, which is a little bit cheaper and you can put down on grass, is a little bit more bumpy for the hands and for the knees if you're wearing shorts. So I would personally recommend wet pour. Yeah, so there's nothing in it for us what to recommend, you know, but in terms of creating a good space for the community and a really good space for fitness, it is a really, really, really good option. The other options are mulch and grass matting. The grass matting is the cheapest option, but it definitely doesn't look as good, and it doesn't provide the flooring that you would need to then do exercises on the floor. So if obviously budget is constrained, then I suppose the flooring is one of the first things that you might have to compromise on. But if you don't have to, then do stick with using the wet pour. In terms of critical fall height, the rigs do have a critical fall height of 1.2 meters. It's based on the fact that the highest bar is 2.2 meters, and because it's a hanging bar, they minus a meter off, so it's considered a 1.2, which is 40. We have a 40 mil thickness of wet pour. If it goes any higher than that, then you might have to increase the thickness. In Gloucester, they chose to have a really thick floor in other areas just because they wanted to do lots of gymnastics, and it was a gymnastics kind of leaning towards that zone. So they really sort of spent a lot of money on the flooring. In terms of our process, we manufacture in the UK. If you're ordering things like rigs, which are very robust, very low maintenance, and very, very popular, it's actually a shorter lead time than everything else. So you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks. Unfortunately, the more complicated stuff like the energy generating equipment, it's more complex and has a longer lead time. So it's around about 12 weeks. So it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best aspects you can have, both for, you know, all demographics of the community. I would, you know, if you can add in other things like we have in the Cambridge gym, we have some cardio equipment, we have some plyometrics, we have some weights, we have some parallettes and other bits and pieces, as well as the good flooring. Yeah, so I've got a list of equipment. Let's have a look. We've got packages that we can we would recommend. The other piece that is a really good piece that we do is a pull-up assisted pull-up as well, and things like chest press seated row, which is really good for things like movement medicine, where your community might want to create a circuit for all ages. And so our ethos is very much about inclusivity. So whilst we would recommend having a rig at the core of your gym, to have other pieces like the chest press seated row, lat pull down, pull up assisted pull up, plyometrics, spinning bike, it will widen the access for the community. Then after the manufacturing, the installation takes about 2 weeks. Gets Harris fenced off. If it's a greenfield site, need to be dug out, and then stone is put down, and then we excavate foundations and then set the equipment into concrete. And then we do the flooring at the end. And then we have our own team of personal trainers and activators, what we call them activators, who can come along and help you launch the gym. And the launch is very much an opportunity to get people on board onto the app. It's an opportunity to show people, obviously show people the gym, communicate the gym, and just get people involved. So yeah, the earlier you can start planning that, the better. So if once we get the purchase order, it's good opportunity to start working up a bit of an agenda as to how you want the gym launched, and who you want to be there. We work up a bit of a press release, and we can provide one of our trainers. We have Carlos, and we also have a couple of new activators joining us, Holly and Robin. So they'll be able to come to the launch and bring the microphone and do some demos and get some music, get a good vibe going. Still got time for, if any of you are looking for a summer install, there's still just about time for that. So yeah, please do get in touch if you want something installed for summer. It should be a really, really great summer for us because of the launch of our new app. So yeah, that's so yeah, just in conclusion, as you can see, outdoor gyms has stood the test of time from ancient Greece to where we are today. We're very much working alongside many communities to develop this concept of community activation. It's something that we're working in partnership with the likes of Ealing, Southwark, and many other councils across the UK. We've coined the concept of an activator. We're trying to lower the barriers to entry to the sports economy. We're working with various organisations on that as well. And yeah, we're looking to make these spaces not only places where you can boost your health and your mental and physical health, but also boost prosperity as well. We've definitely seen there's an opportunity to, with the right gyms and using our up and coming app, to work in a systematic way to provide movement medicine. This could be in conjunction with local physiotherapists, with the local GPs, to really put some great stuff on the gym, like Kesson has done in Faversham, and like Southall is doing in Ealing. Whether that's for mental health or things like the cardiac health or diabetes, it's a great, inclusive, affordable platform essentially for delivering movement medicine, which is very powerful. So yeah, thank you so much for today, and hopefully some of you we can activate the community together. Yeah, thank you for